So in today's tutorial, what we'll do is that we'll create a letterhead in Microsoft Word. Now, your letterhead should contain some basic information such as the name of the business, the logo of the business, the address of the business, and the contact information of the business. The contact information of the business will include your telephone, your fax mail, and also your email. So the very first thing that we'll do is that we'd like to insert the text box. So you click on text box, and we will draw out a text box. Now within that text box is where we'll include the name of the business, Lisa's Beauty Salon, that's the name of the business. Then we include the address, Mango Drive, St. Andrews, the telephone, and the email. Now that we have all the information that we need, then we proceed to insert the logo of our business. Now I have copied this logo from the internet. So what I will do, I will transfer this logo to my work area. Copy, paste. On transferring your logo to the work area, the very first thing that you would like to do is to format that image. So you click on your image once, you click on format, and you go to text wrapping, and I would like you to choose the option that says behind of text. Doing so allows you to move the image quite freely to any location that you may desire, and allows you to change the size, and it's more convenient as you work with that image. Alright, now that we have our logo inserted, what I would like you to do is to position your logo next to the information of your letterhead. Once this is done, we'll proceed to making some edits to the information of our letterhead. First off, we'll start with the name of the business. We want the name of the business to stand out, so we can change the font. Now at this stage, you can be a bit flexible with the font style that you use. In my case, I'll choose Times New Roman. I will bold, and I'll choose the font size 16. Alright, the next thing I'll do, I'll work with the address. I'll go with the same font style, Times New Roman, and instead of 16, I will put the address at 14. Now I'd like you to notice that the address is not bolded. Then I'll work with the contact information. I use the same font style, Times New Roman, and instead of 14, I will increase the size to 12. Now that we have made those edits, another thing that can be done is that we can change the color of the name of the business, and seeing that the theme of the logo, I can choose the color red. Alright, to align with the theme of the logo, the color theme of the logo that I have selected. Now that we have the edits being made to our information, there is last thing that I will do. It's quite optional, you don't have to do it for your design, but I would like to remove the spacing between the address and the contact information of my business. So I will go to paragraph settings. I will use single line spacing, and I'll proceed to remove all other spacing settings that's there, and that makes the information be aligned closer together. It makes it a bit more compact. Alright, now that this is done, what you will do next is that you will align the photo or the logo and the text information of your letterhead in the desired position which you are comfortable with. One thing that I would like to note is that you don't want that the height of your logo outweighs the height of a text box. So you like to align your logo with the height of your text box as well. So in this case, I can bring in the height of my logo a bit like this. So that looks a lot better. And I'll bring in the edges of my text box. Once this is done and you're quite happy with the alignment of the logo and the text box, the next thing that you proceed to do is to remove the line around our text box. So to do that, what we do, we click on the text box once, you go to Format, Shape Outline, and you select No Outline. Once this is done, the next step that we do is that we like to group our text box and our logo together. So to do that, we click on our text box once, press and hold Control on our keyboard, and then we click on the logo. Using Control or pressing on Control allows us to make multiple selections on the screen. Once this is done, you click on Format, Group, and then you select Group. Alright. Now I can make a slight adjustment right here to ensure that all the information is being displayed. And what Group does is that it places the text box and the logo in the same workspace, in the same work area. It allows us to treat both the logo and the text box as though they were a single image. So if you were to observe, when I move, if I were to move the text box, you realize that the logo moves as well. The both elements that were grouped together moves as one single element. Now what we'd like to do next is to insert our letterhead information as a header in our Microsoft Word document. So the very first thing that we do, we will click on the line and cut the letterhead information. Then you go to Insert, Header. You can select the blank header style, remove this, and I would like you to ensure that different first page may ensure that this is ticked before you insert anything in the header of your letter. All right, then you can go to Paste and paste our image. All right, so there we have our letterhead image, our letterhead information, being pasted as a header in our document. The next thing that I like to do is to align the information. So we align our information preferably at the center of our document. And we like to create some more spacing for our header to cover the entire information that was pasted. Alright, so once this is done, we can go to our design view, close header, and there we have it. We have our letterhead being created. As an additional design, another thing that we can do, we can make further edits to our letterhead. So I'll reopen my letterhead, and where you have header from top, I'll reduce the measurement, and as you can see, that brings our letterhead closer to the top of the page. All right, I'll also proceed and I'll go to Insert, Shapes. I'll select the rectangle, and I'll draw a rectangle that is the exact height of the text box that's used for our letterhead information. Alright, and I'll stretch that text box to the edge of our page. Then I'll go to Format, Shape Fill, and I'll use the same color that's used for the name of my business. Then I'll copy, paste, and I'll drag that information to the other side of my letterhead area. Alright, so with some adjustments with the alignment, Alright, so once the adjustments are being made with the alignment and you're totally comfortable with what was made, the next thing that you do, you go to design and you will close header and footer, and there we have it. Some additional designs was made to our letterhead. Now please note that these additional designs, they're totally optional. Alright, it's not a must that you make those additional changes. So then we can go to our print preview to see how our letterhead will look when our document is being printed. Alright, so there we have it, print preview, and this is how our letterhead will look in the event that we're about to print. So now that we have our letterhead completed, the next thing I would like to do is to save our letterhead as a template. To do that, we click on File, Save As, you select Location, and where you have Save Type As, then we go ahead and use the option that says Word Template. Alright, selecting Word Template automatically takes us to the Documents folder in a subfolder called Custom Office Templates. Alright, then we proceed and use an appropriate name for our letterhead. So I will name mine Lisa's Beauty Salon Letterhead. Alright, so once this is done, you click on Save, and there you have your letterhead being created and saved as a template. The last thing, to access your letterhead, if you would like to copy that file, then you can click on File Explorer, you go to Documents, you have Custom Office Templates. Once you open that folder, then you are able to see your letterhead created. So now you can proceed, you can copy, and you can paste.